Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Backpack Trader Training Room for Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. Only session today, so we'll do away with risk disclosure. Flat on micro Russell. Crude is in a long. Actually, is not. Is completed. It's completed the trade. Targets 1 and 2 for 11 and 18 ticks. 902.38. Yeah, easily in that trade. And there's a wick back up to the entries. 29 ticks, one and done session. We will have a 10 a.m. crude mini session. YM has a get in sync long at 49.212. Pound Aussie, nothing this morning. Nothing to deal with at the moment. Flat there. Unleaded. Short trade at 903 flat. 903.00. Oh yeah, lots of time to get in there. A minute and a half on that bar. Wick up, pulling back. So definitely should have been in that trade. This one is turning into a monster trailer here. Target 1 traders pick up 37. Target 2 is 58. And our trailer goes from 86.27, currently at 84.41. 186 ticks at the moment. And the market is open. And we are in the YM long trade. Soybeans went too far on the long trade there. That was that was early this morning. Yeah. 12:46.06 Eastern time. And popping up through money management and target 1 and trailing there, and now stops out just above target 1. Solid win this morning on the YM. We'll put unleaded up there temporarily. One and done on the YM this morning. No trades yet on the micro Russell. And we've got a few more minutes before our start time on the micro NQ. 4 minutes after market open. So we've still got 2 3/4 minutes there. That one's gone too far. So that's a no trade. Oh, micro Russell picks up a short trade. 792, 202, 3. That's gone too far too fast. That hits money management within 3 seconds. Definitely not going to be able to get into that trade. Would have been a nice one. Stops out. Soybean still trailing the early trade. Unleaded now down to 831 for the stop. Crude also still trailing it, but we don't have a position there. Another short trade on the micro Russell. And that one is, I'm afraid that one is going to no way to get out of that one. That one's going to be a loss to start the morning on the micro Russell. Plenty of time to have gotten in that. $201 ticks now on the trailer for unleaded. At $4.20 a tick per contract. It's 840. Move down to 17 now. 210 ticks. $882. Just on the trailer. Another 200 plus on the target for target 2, so that's a $1,000 trade for a risk of 49 ticks times 2, so risk of 98 ticks times $4.20. So basically about $400 risk, give or take. Long trade in the micro Russell. Nine seconds on that third bar, so very likely we're in this trade, and it is trailing now. And it has gone through all targets. Money management would have been up 1 tick from target 1. Pick up targets 3 and 4. Money management would have been 667.2. Crude is still trailing, as is unleaded, down to 83.88. 239. All right, no, it didn't quite get up, but that was 1 second after our start time, so that trade has gone too far also on the short side. But we are in our trade window now. So next trade will be valid. It looks like we may have stopped out on that unleaded trade. Yep, 83.88. Hit and stop on the nose. So while we're waiting for micro NQ, I'm going to put it back where it belongs and then just bring up the micro NQ chart. Unleaded is done. 9 a.m. crude is done. Micro Russell has a loss and a solid win here. Still trailing, already targets 3 and 4 in hand. Soybeans looking for a new trade. Still trailing this early trade. Would have been a nice trade on micro NQ. Hitting target 2, looking for target 3. So lamb is done, crude is done, unleaded is done. Crude stops out of its trade. Micro Russell stops out of the trade and goes short. And stop. That's the second loss against that solid win. So we get target 3, target 4, and the trailer goes to a little above target 3. Micro NQ is a big trade here. Unfortunately, just a little bit too early before the start time of our trade plan. Would it have been tradable is the question. 3307.08. Yeah, second bar there would likely have been a chance to get in. A win and 2 losses on the Micro Russell. Soybeans looking for a new trade. Pound Aussie looking for a trade. And the Micro NQ looking for a trade. Flat currently on the Micro Russell. All right. No changes so far. There's, okay, stop out on the micro NQ. So looking for a new trade there. Could be a long here. There it is. And get the line, markup line in place. We should be in that trade. Long trade on the micro Russell should also be in that one. It's money management. Yeah, we needed four ticks. So it's going to be 66.5. And because it's a major key level at $65, our stop is at 64.9. Okay, there's starting to trail target 3 and target 4. Only 6 ticks behind the 14 EMA. Stopping out. So stopping out just above target 1. 2 wins, 2 losses, 4 trades. Long trade on the micro Russell or micro NQ hits money management. First trade of the morning there. Target 2. Our first trade is a win. Now looking for target 3. 4 position trade under the trade plan. Major key level there also. 25,965. 64 3/4, I think, is going to be the, no, 963. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a trailer. And then we do stop out on that trailer at 963. So target 2 with a target 1 trail, essentially, for the remaining 3 positions. And a short trade setup hasn't triggered. Oh, and it's going to be difficult to set up properly. That's the wrong place. Triggers in. Entry is 953 flat. Soybean still in the long, looking for a new trade. 4 trades in the books on the micro Russell. Second trade of the morning on the micro NQ. No trades on the pound Aussie yet. YM, crude 9 a.m. and unleaded all done. All right, short on the micro Russell. Definitely in the trade. This one is going to be a big one. Big wick on this trade. So we will bring the target back to target 2. I'm almost, yeah. At 4.3, yes, we'll bring the target back to target 2. This will start trailing early. Once we hit 7/10 of target 1, 70% of target 1, it'll start trailing. Because that will certainly be at least 14 ticks, since target 1 is 28 ticks on this trade. All right, we take a loss on trade number 2. We now have a long on micro rut in Q. So a win and a loss. Micro Russell hanging around its entry, as is micro NQ, headed in opposite directions. Looks like micro Russell and the micro NQ are diverging a little bit. Micro Russell's trying to push down. Yeah, there comes the micro NQ down as well. YM also coming down. There's we're starting to trail. Risk is reduced. 66.1. Our entry was 65.9, so just 2 ticks of risk now. Looks like we're going to come up to about 64.4, 64.6, 64.6, 65.6. And money management, but we're already beyond break even, so that this doesn't matter. Down to 65.1, it looks like. Micro NQ finding support at the 50 EMA. Micro NQ back to the entry. Micro Russell starting to turn, missing just a few ticks from target there on the Micro Russell. Micro Russell within a tick of the stop. Still surviving currently. One more time within a tick. And there is the stop for the Micro Russells. A partial win. Two wins, 2 losses, and a partial. 1 trade remaining. Money management on the Micro NQ. Possible long trade coming here on the Micro Russell. And going back the other direction. So 1, 2, possible short. We've got a crossover. Like 61.9 would be the entry. If we get the setup. Target 2 on the micro NQ. And we come just shy of target 1 on the trailer again. Oh, and here we noise here on the micro Russell. That's 1 up bar. For target 3 on the micro NQ. A win and a loss so far. And trailer moving up, target 3 in hand. That definitely going to be positive after this. We can take more trades on this trade plan. Long trade finally on the micro Russell. And we have an entry. We go up 1, 67.7 will be our money management. And regular normal target 3. Target 4 achieved on the micro NQ. Breaking up above 26,000. And we have a final trade is a loss on the micro Russell. Two wins, 3 losses, and a partial. 2 wins, 2 target wins, a partial, and 3 losses on the micro Russell. Going to be probably a pretty even session, maybe slightly positive because the 2 wins were solid target 4, 3 and 4s. And the trailer on the micro NQ now comes up above target 4. Micro Russell is done. This is trade number 3 on the micro NQ, setting new session highs. And where is the YM sitting relative? Well, somewhat off the session lows, but definitely in negative territory this morning. Open at 49.3, high at 49.564. Soybean stops out of its early long trade, so we're looking for a new setup there. All 3 moving averages coming together there. See if we bounce off of this. See if that is going to be support or if it breaks through. All right, micro NQ stops out of its trailer. On its trailer, trailer just missed the prior session high. So definitely positive there after 3 trades, 2 wins and a loss. So our only active charts are the 3 across the bottom. Pound Aussie, micro NQ, and soybeans, all 3 currently flat. All right, 10 o'clock. All right, we might already be in this long trade, but it's definitely get in sync if we're not. Ah, okay, money management at 36. So we'll go to targets 2 and 3 on the 10 a.m. crude mini session. So 4 charts now active after 10 o'clock. Still no trades in the pound Aussie or soybeans. Wow. Quick short setup. And that's all right. In the trade. Gave us a second entry. And I'm going to have to set it up. All right. Crude takes a full loss if I'm assuming that we were probably in that trade. Not a big trade, so the risk was 14 ticks, so we're down 28. Micro NQ taking some heat here. Still no trades on soybeans or the pound Aussie. Trade plan started at 8:30 on the pound Aussie, at 8:30 Eastern, and 8:30 Central on soybeans, so 9:30 Eastern. Soybeans is traded out of Chicago, so Central Time is actually the exchange time. Looks like the crude stop may have been just a little too tight. And micro NQ taking a full loss. 2 wins, 2 losses. And a long trade. Pulls back, gives us plenty of time to get in. That was very nice of it. YM at session lows. Micro NQ at session highs. And Micro Russell just bounced off of session lows. Divergence in the markets. Tech seems to be flying, and the broader markets not so much. Micro NQ being fairly tech heavy. Money management, so stop, it comes to break even. 52 and a quarter. Trade number 5. All three markets moving upward at the moment. Micro NQ pushing to new session highs. 74.5 for the Micro NQ high. Looks like the crude trade is just a little bit tight. Now just hit target one of the original trade. And I don't see anything on the chart that would have kept us in it. So, of our four charts, only the Micro NQ is active at the moment. Our four active charts, that's the only one in a trade. Stop at break even, plus one entry, plus one tick. Just a bit more follow through. It's like that 75-point level, maybe providing some resistance. No overbought or oversold readings, so I'm sure we're looking for trades off of the moving averages. And I think we've gone too far below them on that one. We might get, I don't know, we might get a, now, yeah, that's the trade off the 200 is not part of this trade plan. 50 is the only one that's part of this trade plan. And a break-even stop out on the Micro NQ. Trade number 5 is a break-even. right. So all four charts now, all four active charts are flat. Not going to get a trade anytime soon on the pound Aussie. We can get a trade on them. Short trade. Oh, excuse me. On a down move on micro NQ. Possible long trade on soybeans. Yeah. Possible short trade on crude. Crude set up at 18, 61.18. If it goes down from here. $61.19 now. Short trade on crude at 19, as predicted. Crude trade has not triggered in yet. Soybeans definitely on March contract. Crude in the short. So crude is short. Pound Aussie, micro NQ, and soybeans are all flat. Micro NQ with one potential trade remaining. No changes. Pushed down a little bit, now coming back up toward the entry again. Short trade setup on the micro NQ. $43 flat. Stop is at 58.5. All right, we touched the stop, but that doesn't cancel the trade because it had not hit the entry yet. Still a valid trade, and there's our entry. So we'll track this one manually. Final trade of the day. Two wins, two losses, and a break even. Having to push down through the 50 EMA to get to target, money management and targets. All three moving averages crossing together a couple of bars back on soybeans. Crude testing the moving averages, or testing the 50 and 20. Soybeans may end up with a setup here in another bar. Not many bars printing this morning on soybeans. Micro Russell got back up to the session open. Micro NQ coming off of its session highs, and the YM at session lows. So, three indices diverging a bit. Micro NQ at the entry again. Soybeans touched its session high and has pulled back about 3 ticks. So 2 ticks beyond the session high would close a new bar, close this bar, and that would put an entry at 68.5. All right, micro NQ stops out of the short trade. Third loss. It's going to be, I would say, will be pretty close to in fact, would probably be slightly positive given how healthy at least one of those winning trades was. So crude now has a stop and reverse potential. 61.38 for the stop and reverse. Actually, that is probably about 75% of the risk on a short trade. So that actually would be the second loss and an end of the 10 a.m. session, mini session. Micro NQ looks like it's picking up a long trade, setting another new session high. Not participating in that because we are done with the trade plan. And I am going to have to call in the morning. I'm going to have an appointment I've got to get to. There's our long trade that I was expecting coming on soybeans. There it is. 68 flat. Yeah, it pulled down a couple of ticks more, and then came back up. So that is our 68 flat is our entry. 70.25 is target 1. 71.75 is target 2. So that's where we'll have to leave that. See if this does finish off. I believe that's money management on micro NQ. So that's going to be a break-even trade, at least. All three market indices moving upward at the moment. Crude sitting 3 ticks below stop and reverse exit point. It's going to be an exit only. Within 1 tick of entering the soybeans trade, we got within 1 of the And we're 2 ticks away from crude, 1 tick away from stop. Okay, from exit. Looking like that's going to be an exit point. And there it is. So crude 10 a.m. session is done with 2 losses. Now pound Aussie moved down, but no trades. We didn't get money management on micro NQ, but that's not a trade we're in. Soybeans, 1 tick, 2 ticks away from entry into a long. Is our own 2 active charts now. Soybeans and the pound Aussie, both of them flat. Soybeans with a possible trade. But that's where I'm going to have to leave it this morning. Everybody have a good one. We'll be back at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Regular session then. 10:30 a.m. will be a crude inventory session. We'll do separate streams for each of those. So everybody have a good one. We'll see you back tomorrow at 9:30.